Hello everyone, welcome to the Bodhi Academy. Today we'll start with Standard 12 Accountancy PYQ solution of Chapter 8, that is balance sheet. So with regards to balance sheet, this comes as a 10-mark question. Then balance sheet you have to learn the full format first, and then you should know where all the items you have to put. Okay. So with regards to balance sheet, you have to learn the full format and you have to remember the main head and the sub head under that. So the first thing will start equity and liabilities. This is the main head. Under that it comes shareholder fund. Shareholders fund includes share capital and reserve and surplus. Now with regards to share capital, you have to remember share capital, it can be equity and the preference share capital. Okay, so you have to check the question. If in the question both the things are given, then you have to mention equity and preference share capital amount separately. Then next is reserves and surplus. Here this part includes all the reserves, that is capital redemption reserve, security premium reserve, and main important you have to remember profit and loss, debit and the credit balance. If credit balance is given, then you have to add. If debit balance is given, then you have to minus. Okay. And with regards to this, you have to check whether two or more items are given. If two or more items are given in the question, then you have to make a working note like this. Okay. Next comes share application money pending allotment. This is the second part. This you have to write down because this will be according to the format. But there is no need to evaluate anything. Then third one is non-current liabilities. Now non-current liabilities are for long period of time, and this includes long-term borrowings and long-term provision. Now long-term borrowings includes debentures, then long-term loans, then public deposit, mortgage loan and all. So these things comes under long-term borrowings. So in the trial balance, in the question you have to check how many long-term borrowings are there, and then according to that you have to write down the amount. Then with regards to long-term provision, it is given for the employees like gratuity fund, provision fund, pension funds. Okay, this is with regards to the long-term provision with regards to employees. These things you have to remember. Then the fourth part is current liability. Okay, now non-current liabilities is for long period of time, but current liabilities are for short period of time. Now here short-term borrowings, you have to remember cash credit, bank overdraft, short-term loans and advances, okay, demand deposit with the bank. Then trade payables, you have to remember with the B part, trade payable includes creditors plus bills payable, okay, so these are all the liability part. This is the vertical balance sheet, but for 11th standard we used to learn horizontal balance sheet. Now everything is vertical for according to the new financial statements. So the trade payable includes creditors and bills payable. Next, other current liabilities. Other current liabilities, all your outstanding unpaid dividends and all. Then short-term provisions, provision for tax and proposed dividend. This you can remember with regards to short-term provisions. So all the bifurcation, and you have to remember where all the item goes. Okay. Then next, the second part is asset. Now here assets are classified into non-current asset and current asset. Now non-current asset are again, it is for a long period of time, and this includes fixed asset. Now fixed asset again, it includes tangible and intangible asset, okay, and other non-current asset. Now here tangible asset is your plant and machinery, land and building, livestock. These are your tangible asset which you can see, which you can touch. Board example is a tangible asset. Intangible asset includes patent, software, goodwill, masthead. These are all intangible asset, okay, which we cannot see. Then other non-current asset you have to remember. Other non-current asset include preliminary expenses, discount on issue of shares, debentures, underwriting commission. This is the bifurcation of other non-current asset. Then second is current asset. Current asset again, it is for a short period of time. So A part, current investment, then inventories. Inventories includes all stock, opening stock, and the closing stock. Then trade receivable is your debtors and bills receivable. Okay, cash and cash equivalent includes all the cash balances and the bank balances, cash in hand and all. Then short term loans and advances, this is like only the advances which is given for the employees that you have to take over here. And your other current asset, which includes prepaid expenses, prepaid rent, all these things will come over here. Okay, interest receivable is your other current asset. Now we'll move to the question and we'll check. So the first question is, the following ledger balances are extracted from the books of Vishal Company Limited. So you have to write down the heading, balance sheet of Vishal Limited as on 31st March 2014. Then prepare the balance sheet of the company. So we'll discuss the trial balance. Here they have mentioned advances to employees. So the first part is you have to write down in pencil that which item goes where, and you have to remember if there are two more items in the respective things, then you have to prepare a working note. Okay. Now, advances to employees, they have given as 3 lakhs. So, as I told, whatever the advances given to the employees will go under short-term loans and advances. So, we have taken 3 lakh over here. The first step is you have to write down the full format as it is, and then you can start putting all the amount. Okay, and whether any working notes are there side by side, you can prepare the working note. Then cash at bank, as I told, it will go in all the cash balances go under this head, cash and cash equivalent. Now the amount which is given over there is 3,14,320. Okay. Then furniture and fixture, as we know that furniture is asset, it is a tangible asset. So you have to check whether any more adjustment are there for tangible asset. Then premises is given. Premises again is a tangible asset, so it will come under this part, non-current asset, fixed asset, tangible asset. Okay, now since we got two items and there are no other items I can see over here, so you have to write down the working note. But whenever you are write down the working note, you have to write down the heading, tangible fixed asset, premises, whatever the amount is given, and the furniture and fixture, and the total amount you have to take. Okay, so this is that total amount what you have to take. So total amount, whenever you are writing, you have to write down the working note number. Okay, so working note number 3, and under the respective column you have to write down 48,59,940. Okay, so this is with regards to tangible fixed asset. Then discount on issue of shares. Discount on issue of share is our other non-current asset, so that we have to take as 25,000. Then trade receivables. Trade receivable is our current asset, so this is, it will go under the C part as how much, 3,66,240, whatever the amount they have mentioned. Then next they have given as advance tax. Advance tax means the prepaid, so prepaid amount is given as 50,000, so it will go over here 50,000. Next, stock in trade. Now, whenever there comes stock, it means inventories. Okay, so inventories, we know that it will go under this part, and inventories are 3,55,600. Next, with regards to 8% government bonds. So, government bonds, they have given the amount as 3,36,000. So, it is our current investment. So, it will go under this 8, okay, current investment part. Then, next, we'll move to equity share capital. As I told you, share capital comes for the first part, that is shareholders fund. A, share capital. Share capital is divided into equity and the preference share. But in the question, they have not given any preference shares. So, direct amount we are going to take. Share capital is 52 lakhs. Okay. Next, capital reserve. Whenever the term reserve they put, you have to take that under reserve and surplus. But now we'll check whether any more items are there. So here for reserves they have given profit and loss account. So profit and loss account credit balance they have given. So as I mentioned, whenever they give the credit balance, you have to add, and whenever there is a debit balance, it means loss, so you have to minus. Okay, so here the total what we are writing is 1,02,000 980. So, and the working note you have to write down. Working note number 1. Then, loan from SBI. So, it is a loan which a company, Vishal Limited company has taken. So, it is a long-term borrowings. Okay, since they have taken a loan of rupees 8 lakh, it will go under long-term borrowings. This is for a long period of time. Then provision for employees welfare fund 6 lakh. So whenever there is with regards to employees welfare fund, employees benevolent fund, it will go under this part long term provisions. Okay. Next, they have given us proposed dividend. So, as I mentioned, proposed dividend and provision for tax, this will go under short-term provision. So, here you have to write down 1,64,000. So, this is with regards to short-term provision, proposed dividend. Then, short-term loan from bank. Now, here they have directly mentioned that loan they have taken for short period of time. So, directly it will go under short-term borrowings. Okay, as 4,90,200. Then unpaid dividend. Unpaid dividend is again our other current liabilities, unpaid dividend. But for unpaid dividend, you have to mention that working note. Then bills payable, they are mentioned as bills payable, they have given as 85,100. So here what they have done is they have added all these things. Then next, sundry creditors. Sundry creditors, again it will go under this part, that is trade payable, sundry creditors and bills payable, and the total amount you have to write down. It's 1,85,120. Okay. So this is how you have to solve the full balance sheet. But whenever you are solving, you have to remember the full format and you have to remember what are the different items comes under that part. Then working notes you have to prepare which carries marks, and under the respective head you have to write down. Like we put working note number 1 for reserve and surplus, then trade payable, and then the tangible fixed asset. Okay, so this is how you have to solve the balance sheet question. So the second question is, the following ledger balances are extracted from the books of Varun Limited for the year ending 31st March 2014. Prepare the balance sheet of the company for the year ending 31st March 2014 as per Schedule 3 of the Companies Act. Now you have to show the vertical balance sheet. So the first heading you have to write down balance sheet of Varun Limited as on 31st March 2014, and then you have to write down the full format, particulars, note number, amount. Whenever you are writing the format, first head is equity and liability. Second, first part under that is shareholders fund. A part is share capital. B, reserve and surplus. Second, share application money pending allotment. Then third one is non-current liability. Under that comes long-term borrowings, long-term provision. Fourth one is current liabilities. Under that, short-term borrowings, trade payable, other current liability, short-term provisions. Okay. The next is asset. So now first we'll discuss the liability part and we'll see 8% debentures. 8% debentures will come under long-term borrowings. Then employees provident fund is a part of long-term provision. Securities premium comes under reserves and surplus. Then 24,000 fully paid equity shares of rupees 100 each. 50 is called up, so you have to prepare a working note for that. But they have given the direct amount as 12 lakhs. So your direct amount you have to take 12 lakhs. Okay. Then deposits with ICICI Bank, then public deposits they have given as 5 lakh. Next, drafts on hand. Drafts on hand. Next, they have given bills receivable, immovable property. So, next part we'll discuss about the asset part. For asset part, they have given plant and machinery. Then cash at bank. Plant and machinery is 6 lakhs. So you have to check whether more items are given. Plant and machinery and immovable property. So you have to add and show the working note. So working note number 3. Total comes to 16 lakhs. Similarly, you have to do for share capital. Direct amount you have to take 12 lakhs, which is given in the question. Then next is 8% debentures, but for debentures there are more working note. Public deposit is there of rupees 5 lakh. So you have to add this total together and then make a working note number 2, and then only the total amount you are going to show. The total amount is 13 lakhs. After that, for reserves and surplus, you have to check whether any more items are given. So here there is no working note for reserve and surplus. So direct security premium 80,000 will come. Okay. Then cash at bank they have given as 34,000. So if you see for cash and cash equivalent, we have additional more items. For that, drafts on hand is there, which will go under this part, cash and cash equivalent, which is 5 lakh. So the total comes to 5 lakh 34,000. Okay, working note number 4. Then working note number 3 was tangible asset, which we took 16 lakhs. Working note number 2 is 13 lakhs. We just now what we discussed with regards to long term borrowings. Then sundry creditors, since creditor is a liability, it will go under trade payable. Creditors and bills payable goes under this head, trade payable. So here only they have given sundry creditors of rupees 1,16,000. So direct amount you have to take. Okay. Then next is loan to manager. Now they have given loan to manager. So loan, whenever they give to the manager or employees, it will go under this part, short term loans and advances as 70,000. Okay. Then next part is prepaid insurance. For prepaid insurance, whatever is paid in advance, the amount is given as 1 lakh. So 1 lakh will go under this head, other current asset, under the current asset part. Okay. Then they have given deposits with ICICI Bank. So these are our long-term deposits. So whatever deposits are there, you have to show under this part, long-term loans and advances, as rupees 1,98,000 as given in the question. Then we discuss about immovable property, which is a tangible asset, and we did the working note for that. Public deposit also, it is a part of long-term borrowing. Provision for taxation is your short-term provisions. Okay, so short-term provisions amount they have given as 1,80,000. Drafts on hand we did, it is a part of cash and cash equivalent. So we did a working note for that. Bills receivables. Now whatever receivables are there, it will go under the current asset, under this part, trade receivables, as 2,40,000. Okay. Then brokerage on issue of share, it is a part of other non-current asset. Brokerage discount on issue of share, so it will go over here as 1,10,000. Okay, other current asset, other non-current asset as 1,10,000. Bank overdraft they have given as 1,50,000. So bank overdraft is part of short-term borrowing, so that's why it went under this head, short-term borrowings. Then security deposit 1,24,000. So security deposits also it will go under long term this other non-current asset. Next, trademark. Trademark is your intangible asset. Trademark, patents and all. So amount what they have given is 1,80,000. So trademarks you have to take under this part, intangible asset. Okay. Then after putting all the items and their under their respective heads, you have to total the liability part and the asset part, and since it is a balance sheet, your equity and liabilities and the asset, it should be same, it should match with the asset, should match with the liabilities. Okay, so the total liabilities what we are getting is 31 lakhs 56,000. Here also for asset part we are getting 31 lakh 56,000. So it means that the your sum is correct. Main part what you have to remember is you have to write down the heading, balance sheet of Varun Limited as on 31st March and 2014, and the working notes, and for working notes you have to write down that note number. Okay, this is the reason why we prepare working notes, so that direct we can refer how we have calculated that particular amount. Okay, so this is how you have to solve the second question. So the next question is, the following ledger balances are extracted from the books of Regal Limited. Then you have to prepare the vertical balance sheet of the Regal Limited company for 31st March 2014. So the first is you have to write down the heading, balance sheet of Regal Limited as on 31st March 2014. Okay, and you have to write see the question from the trial balance. Office equipment is given as 4,80,600. Then 9% debenture in APCO Limited. So this is a current investment which is in different company. So current investment we take under this part, under the head current asset. So it will go under this current investment as 2,45,000. Next, loose tools is a part of inventory, so it will go under the head inventories. But for inventories, we also have stores and spares. So loose tools are given as 1,63,000. Then stores and spares they have given 1,200,000. So the total amount you have to do, and the third, so this is the third working note which will go under this side as 2,63,200. It is a part of inventory, so it will go under the current asset head and the subhead inventories. Next, plant and machinery. So whenever if you see tangible asset, there are working note for tangible asset. Okay, so second heading, second working note, tangible fixed asset, plant and machinery, and we also got office equipment. So office equipment is 4,80,600 and plant and machinery is 18 lakhs. So the total amount you have to put under the amount column 22,80,000. So it will go under the tangible asset working note number 2, 22,80,600. Next, computer software. Software it is intangible asset, so it will directly go under this part intangible asset as 83,250. Since there are no adjustment, no other more additional information to that, so we'll take the amount directly. Next, they have given advertisement. Okay, advertisement on return of, so it is a part of your uh, other non-current asset, 30,000. Then stores and spares, as I told, it will go under the inventories part. Then interest accrued on investment, so it is your other current asset, whatever is accrued, so it will go under other current asset, the last part of current asset, as 51,000. Next, cash at bank. Cash at bank, it will go, since it is cash balances, it will go under cash and cash equivalent as 23,000. The amount which they have given is 23,000. Then general reserve. General reserves, the word reserve itself says that it will go under this part, reserve and surplus, 4,15,000. Okay. Then next part they have given creditors for good, rupees 1,68,500, and creditors for expenses, okay, 36,000. So all these things will go under the trade payable, since creditor is a liability and two items are there, so you have to put under the one head, that is trade payable, and the total comes to 2,04,500, which you are going to put under the current liability part, trade payable, working note number 1, 2,04,500. Next, cash credit, 75,000. So cash credit, it is a part of short-term borrowings as 75,000. Then mortgage loans. Mortgage loan is a part of your long-term borrowings. So it is a part of your non-current liability. So it will go under this head, long-term borrowings is 3,10,000. Next, 8% preference share capital, 5,50,000, and equity share capital as 15 lakhs. Okay. Now you cannot add this together, you have to show equity and preference separately. So that's why I have written equity, the first part, as 15 lakhs, and the second one is preference, that is 5,50,000 under this head, share capital. Okay, it comes under the shareholder fund, and the major head is equity and liabilities. Next, staff welfare fund. Now this is for the employees. So it will go under long term provision, okay, because this is for the long period of time, for the employees it is, so that's why it will go under the long term provision. Then provision for taxation, as I told, provision for taxation, proposed dividend, it comes under the short term provision, so you have to take over here 26,550. With regards to second head, share application money pending allotment, accounting treatment not to be evaluated for that. Okay, then the next other current liability they have not given, so I have put dash, or you can put nil for that, NIL. Then again long term loans and advances, they have not given anything. Then Next, they have not given any short-term loans and advances. So there are, I have put dash for that. Okay, or you can put NIL, okay, nil. So after doing all these things, you have to add the total liability and the total asset. You have to check for the total amount, whether it is balancing or not. So here it is coming as 31 lakh 66,050, and again for the asset part it is same. So it means that the balance sheet is correct. Then the main important thing what you have to remember is the working note number properly you have to put, and the headings properly you have to write. Okay, the main headings here are equity and liabilities, shareholders fund. Then again the second heading, share application money pending allotment. Third heading, non-current liabilities. Then current liabilities, the fourth one. Then you have to remember the second part, asset. Okay, so I have put second as Roman over here according to the format. Then first is non-current asset, then current asset. Okay, this is how it is categorized. So this is how you have to solve the balance sheet of Regal Company Limited. So the fourth question is, from the following ledger balances of Darshan Limited, prepare balance sheet of the company as per the company schedule Act 2013. So the first one, you have to write down the heading, balance sheet of Darshan Limited as on 31st March 2014. And you have to write down the full format first, equity and liabilities, shareholders fund, share capital, reserve and surplus, share application money pending allotment. For this, no accounting treatment is evaluated, so I have to write down nil. Okay. Then third one is non-current liabilities. Under that it comes long-term borrowings, long-term provision, B part. Then fourth one is current liabilities, short-term borrowings, trade payable, other current liability, short-term provision. Then next you have to write down the total over here. Then next is second part is asset. First one, non-current asset, fixed asset, tangible, intangible. B part is non-current investment. C, long-term loans and advances, other non-current asset. Then second part is current asset. And under current asset, current investment, inventories, trade receivable, cash and cash equivalent, short-term loans and advances, and other current asset. So we'll start with the sum. Here leasehold property is given for 16 lakhs. So I have to take under the part tangible asset. Next they have given plant and machinery of rupees 9 lakh. So plant and machinery is a part of tangible fixed asset. So it will, you have to show the working note. Working note number 2. Leasehold property 16 lakhs, plant and machinery 9 lakhs. So the total amount you have to write down on the amount column as 25 lakhs. Then bank balance, it will go under cash and cash equivalent. So cash and cash equivalent as 1 lakh 5,000. Then goodwill, since goodwill is intangible asset, goodwill here they have given as for 3 lakhs. So goodwill you have to write down under the intangible asset. Investment in subsidiary company they have given as 11 lakh 50,000. It means they have, they have invested in some other companies. This is a long term investment. So basically it will come under non-current investment for rupees 11 lakh 50,000. Next, they have given profit and loss account. Now, profit and loss account they have given on the debit side of the trial balance. So, whenever there is a debit balance of profit and loss account, you have to minus it from reserves and surplus. Okay. Then stock of finished goods, it is a inventory, so which they have given as 1 lakh 20,000. Then accounts receivable, they have given 2 lakh 40,000, which will come under trade receivable. Preliminary expenses, underwriting commission is a part of your other non-current asset. So other non-current asset, working note number 3 you have to prepare. Underwriting commission they have given as 45,000, preliminary expenses as 39,000, and the total amount you have to take for 84,000. Okay. Then next, share capital. Share capital amount you have to write down directly because there are no preference share and all. So directly equity share capital for rupees 20 lakhs 65,000. Staff provident fund. Now this is provident fund. So we take provident fund, gratuity fund, then pension fund under this head, long term provisions. Okay, so it will go under this head as 8 lakhs. Next, capital redemption reserve and general reserve they have given. Capital redemption reserve they have given for 2,20,000 and general reserve they have given for 1,90,000. So there are total 3 items under the head reserve and surplus. So capital redemption reserve, general reserve, debit balance you have to minus. Okay, so first add these two and then you have to minus. So you'll get 3,40,000. So working note number 1 you have to write down in the amount column as 3,40,000. Next, deposit from public. So whatever public deposits are there, that it will go under this head, long term borrowings, as for 9 lakhs as given in the question. Then accounts payable they have given for 2,10,000. It will go under trade payable. Okay. Then here also they have taken short term loans from SBI. Since it is a short term loan, it will go under the current liability part, short term borrowings for rupees 1,78,000. Then unclaimed dividend they have given for rupees 6,000. Unclaimed dividend goes under the current liabilities part, but C part, other current liabilities for rupees 6,000. Okay, so this is what information was provided into the question. Now you have to check the whether it is telling equity and liabilities. 44 lakhs 99,000 we are getting here. Also we are getting the same amount. So but the main part you have to write down the heading, balance sheet of Darshan Limited, and then note numbers you have to write down properly. And if 2 or more items are there, then you have to add the total of it. Okay, so this is what how you have to solve the full balance sheet of Darshan Limited as on 31st March 2014. Okay. So now we'll start with the MCQ, and the first question is, from the following extracts of a company, state the long-term borrowings of the company. So here we have to mention which are the long-term borrowings of the company. So here creditors they have given as 50,000, debentures are given as 1 lakh, security premium 16,000, public deposit as 60,000. So creditor is a trade payable, security premium goes under reserve and surplus. So what is left is debenture. So here you have to write down the heading long term borrowing, and you have to calculate this amount. Now the first debentures they have given, debentures for 1 lakh, then public deposits they are given for 60,000. So public deposit for 60,000. So the total will be 1,60,000. Okay. So this is how you have to solve the first MCQ. Then we'll move to the next second MCQ. Second MCQ is, from the following extracts of the company, state the intangible asset of the company. So here intangible asset are those which you cannot see or which you cannot touch. So here the options given are livestock, then recipes, tools, masthead and title. Livestock is tangible. Recipes you have to take recipes. So I am writing intangible asset. Intangible asset, recipes. Recipes they have given for 75,000. Then tools they have given 4,000 and masthead. So here masthead is applicable. Masthead and titles. So it is given for 25,000. So we'll add 75,000 plus 25, which will give 1 lakh. Okay. This is how you have to solve the second MCQ. Third one, Rajdeep Limited has the following balances. So, and they have told us to calculate the trade payable. Okay. So, I have to identify which are the different items comes under trade payable. So, I am writing it over here. Trade payable. You have to write down the heading. This question comes for 1 mark and you have to show the calculation. You have to write down the heading. Then, now trade payable includes creditors. So, sundry creditors they have given for 24,000. Sundry creditors 24,000. Debtors is a part of bills receivable. Then bills payable they have given 6,000. So directly bills payable will come for 6,000. then bills receivable, which will not come. So only these two items are going to come. So 24,000 plus 6,000 you have to do, which will give you 30,000. Okay. So this is how you have to show the trade payable calculation. Next, Gaukar Limited has the following balances and they have told us to calculate the amount to be recorded under the head other current liabilities. So under the head other current liabilities, so the first thing you have to write down other current liabilities, and under that you have to identify which are the different items given. So preliminary expenses is a part of other current other non-current asset. Then outstanding expenses will come under the head other current liability. So outstanding expenses I am taking outstanding expenses which they have given for 2000. Then next part they have given calls in advance rupees 15,000. So calls in advance will come. So the total is 16,000. Okay, and the next part what they have given is provision for tax, which don't come under other current liability since it is a part of short-term provisions. Okay, so this is how you have to solve. Next, they have given Shweta Limited has the following balances, and they had told us to find out intangible asset. So they have told us to calculate the intangible asset. So I am writing the heading intangible asset, and under that the items which they have given is recipes for rupees 14,000. So intangible asset recipes will come, so I am writing recipes 14,000. Then goodwill they have given for rupees 1 lakh. So goodwill is a part of intangible asset, so goodwill. Then machinery is a part of fixed asset, and tools is also a part of fixed asset, tools and equipment, which is given as 4,000. So only these two things are there. So the total which will come is 1,14,000. Okay. This is how you have to solve calculate the amount under the head intangible asset. So whenever it's the MCQ part, you have to write down the heading first, and then you have to list out the items which comes under that particular heading. Okay. Thank you for watching the video. Do like, share, and subscribe.